And that's right, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to say be welcome to another great edition of the program Ashford Garley Live on this beautiful Tuesday night as we come to you from Detroit. Oh man, it feels great to be back home. Lopu Zika is in the building. Avin Perry is also in the building. Bless Sampang Batu is in the building as well. Come on, guys, don't be selfish. Grab something to drink. Invite a few friends so that we can together have a great time tonight. Special guest in the studio, folks. Former representative of Nima County and the aspiring national chairman of the Unity Party, Honorable Walia Sewadona, is our guest tonight, folks. He's suited and ready to take the hot seat. Oh, man. And just in case you're celebrating your birthday today, I'd like to say congratulations. And let us sure hope that you live to see many more birthdays to come. As always, folks, this has become a lifestyle now. Stay home. Stay safe. Save lives. Social distancing should still be in effect. Wear your masks when you leave your home. That is, if you have to go. This is getting serious. This is no joke. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I want to visit Information Highway, where Mrs. Letty Brooks is Rabbits is standing by. Mrs. Rabbits, hello, welcome to the show.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Garley. How are you?
Good, good.
That's wonderful. We want to start the show by saying welcome to all of our viewers. Good evening and welcome to another thought-provoking Tuesday edition of Bridge Radio, Bridge TV Africa, with your host, Ashford, the Giant, Garley. We ask that you please share the show as we are coming to you live from 3 different platforms. We're coming from Facebook Live, aka Bridge TV, Bridge Radio Africa YouTube channel, and also bridgeradioafrica.com. Thank you for choosing Bridge TV, Bridge Radio Africa as your choice of information and entertainment. We ask that you please be respectful of one another. We ask you to be respectful of our host. Most importantly, we ask that you be respectful of our guests. Last but not least, we ask that you please visit bridgeradioafrica.com for more information and entertainment, music, and what have you. Please brace yourselves, stay put, as we have another informative evening for you with your host again, Ashford, the Giant, Garley. Back to you, Mr. Garley.
Thank you, Mrs. Roberts. Right. Again, folks, if you're just joining us, don't be selfish. All right. Don't enjoy the show by yourselves. And some other ability is in the building. He said, good morning. The John watching you from South Australia. We'll also see Emmanuel Charles Dodo. He's a brilliant son of Nima. He said, can't wait to listen to him. Alice Nibbler is in the building. Lama Shapra, my man, it's been a long time. Samson Gay, the Saber Harris, and the rest of the crew. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, not to just take up your time, I'd like to introduce to you our special guest tonight from Liberia. Hello, sir. Hello, Honorable Donor. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, hello, how you doing? I'm okay.
Okay. Now, for the sake of the audience,
Hello, thank you. I'm here.
okay, we can hear you. Okay, for the sake of the audience, just let us jump into it. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Good. I'm Wale Sewaduna. I'm a former representative of Nimba County. I represented two different districts, district number 3 from 2006 to 2012, and district number 7 from 2012 to 2018. I headed the judiciary committee in the House. I was also head of delegation of the joint legislative delegation to the ACPEU, and I'm a practicing lawyer currently with the Central Law Offices. I've got 5 kids, happily married, and I hail from Bond City in central Nimba County. And I'm a Liberian and a partisan of the Unity Party. As a matter of fact, a phony executive of the Unity Party because I was there in 2010 when the 3 political parties, the Liberia Action Party, the Liberia Unification Party, and the old Unity Party merged to form the new Unity Party. And I've been member of this party and an executive for years. So I come to you from that background, but I started politics as a member of the New Deal movement, and I rose through the rank to the position of Secretary General, and I coordinated the New Deal campaign of 2005, and we were a very young political party, and we won 4 seats in the House of Representatives. In 2009, I left the New Deal movement after some political and policy differences, and I joined the Unity Party. So that's a little background on me. And like I say, currently I'm a practicing lawyer based in Monrovia, and we operate from the Central Law Offices on Ashford Street.
Okay, thank you. And again, well said. That was brilliant introduction there.
Hello?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Just stay put. You're gonna hear me. I don't know what the delay is, but I can hear you. Now, Honorable.
Hello?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. I can hear you loud.
Hello, Miss.
I can hear you loud.
Okay.
Just listen to me. You're gonna hear me. I don't know what the delay is, but you're gonna hear me. Now, you just said you served as representative for 12 years for the people of the Nima County. When you
Okay.
when you served as representative, did you drive, champion, and got any bill passed over the last 12 years in the House? If yes, what were they? I am not just talking about bills you supported.
Late and there are some individually, but the most important bill that we led the drafting and the passage is the bill that established the community colleges in our Nimba, Bong, and Lofa, which we drafted and we sponsor along with other colleagues, and we ensure its passage. We work on a lot of bills, including the security reform bills as secretary, subsequently co-chair and chairman of the Judiciary Committee. We also work on the financial reforms bill, which is called the PFM law. We work on it jointly. We work on the new Defense Act. We work on the new Security Act, the security policy reforms, and a host and numbers of bills. A period of reform in Liberia. So there were a lot of executive bills that we work on, but I take particular interest in the fact that we work to establish colleges, community colleges that are now functioning and putting our young people that are contributing to the development of Liberia. We were also part of the group of 5 that championed the establishment of what have come to be known now as the Constituency Development Fund, which is a yearly annual allotment of resources for county-specific needs, which is dictated to and directed by the county council. So we're involved in a lot of new ideas coming into government by ways of devolution, of bringing the people to participate more in decision making. And I also serve on the modernization committee of the House, and we drafted the policy which was adopted called the Modernization Act, and it led to a lot of reforms in the working of the national legislature of Liberia. If you will recall, historically, actually, the 2005 elections, I think someone may argue it, but are directly elected by the people. So modern as an institution that have formally operated on a basis of patronage and a cluster selection, party caucus selection. And then we have an institution now that the Liberian people were directly electing its members. So modernization was a key and critical planks, and we worked there along with other colleagues and with the support of USAID, EU, and World Bank and other donors. And one of the work of the modernization committee is the 2 new annexes you see that have now been dedicated and serving the national legislature of Liberia.
So you were saying now that some of these bills were bills that you championed as the head, and because you kept saying we.
Yeah, I when I say we, there were most bills you may serve as the key drafter, but you will find that you will need to collaborate with colleagues all of the time. And for a new legislation that is just coming in, so you will find that you will need no more co-sponsors to work with you for its passage, and sometimes you help co-sponsor others. So that's why you always say we work at it together, because it has to pass in both houses. So you will need a joint effort. And in the Liberian legislature, it's not possible to see a bill that is single-handedly handled. Yeah, I don't know what the culture of other legislatures would be, but for ours, that's how in the beginning we were, because we were like the trailblazer and laying path for the legislature. Those are very old legislature, and I think we were the 52nd legislature, but we were actually like the beginning legislature of the Republic of Liberia.
Okay, now what is the single most important issue facing the Unity Party, and how do you intend to solve that issue, if there's any?
In my analysis of the Unity Party in the last 10 years of my active membership, I've come to realize that the Unity Party, especially coming out of the 2016 Banga Convention, the Unity Party has been trending on a path of division. There were widespread division in the party, rank and file, and one of the major tasks is to unite the Unity Party, because it's ironic that a party called Unity Party will be existing in division. While it is true that the political party is a conglomeration of various interests and persons, but what is important is for a leadership to be able to harness those various aspirations and goals and talents and skills into a formidable force that can work at the national level to deliver and to help achieve state power because that is the ultimate objective for the formation of political party. And so the unity party has an issue of unity. It also have an issue of being built and organized in the way that the structures are effective and cohesive. So we intend to bring unity and cohesiveness and effectiveness of its various structures and organs. And that we see have been lacking over time in the by God's willing, if we are given the opportunity, those will be the challenges that we hope to harness immediately.
Now, have you voted and or went against any decision or position of the Unity Party? If yes, what was or where were those decisions or position, if any?
I have. I don't know. You mean voted? You mean in the house, or you mean within the party itself? I have had some policy differences with party leadership, and uh, and we have been able to harmonize that. And one of the differences I had was the expulsion of Standard Emeritus, former President Salif, and three others. And at that time, I said it was the wrong decision, and I worked hard, engaged in the dialogue process, and I put together a group that came to be known as the FAR RP, and we went on mediation, and we were able to foster and to engender the reconciliation which our political leader embraced, and he taking the steps, and the reconciliation is ongoing. I think that was one decision by the NEC that I disagree with at that time.
Honorable Representative, I want you to please state 5 major reasons why the CDC government should not be re-elected, and also state 5 major reasons why the CPP should be elected in 2023.
Thank you very much. The um, the current establishment we have, the current government of CDC, has actually proven to the Liberian people its lack of capacity to govern, and the disjointed and the disorganized manner of handling the affairs of the state is started right on from their inception, right on from the inauguration. The first scandal that hit Liberia was the mismanagement of 10 billion, 10.5 billions, which was printed and brought in the country by our government and left at the port. So they handle it from the port to the vaults of the central bank, and the reports are all out there indicating that these money were grossly mismanaged or they cannot be accounted for. And we are talking about over 100 million, equivalent of over 100 million United States dollars, which should have been helped to stabilize the country and to help the economy. And so that is one of the greater problems, lack of capacity to be trusted with the management of national resources. And that is the glaring example you can see, the lack of capacity to manage the resources of the state. And I was listening to news today, and one of the item that is on news all over is that salaries are being paid. Now, we cannot go back to those days. And unfortunately, we are back to those days where salary payment is becoming news again. Under the Unity Party led government, by the 22nd to the 25th, salaries are paid and nobody is talking about it. I mean, it became accepted that it was a norm. You don't need to think about whether it will be paid or not be paid. So the economic management thing has shown a total incapacity to manage the economy as well. That's another point. And when it comes to the social fund, I'm from Nima County. Nima have not been receiving the social fund according to Honorable Yonkwe. Listen, instead of Nima getting 1.5 Nima million annually from Metasteel, it has been cut down to 400,000. We don't know what the reasons are, but these are social funds that were established under the Unity Party led government for direct participation to affect the life of the rural communities and the affected communities where these explorations and extractions are going on, extraction of natural resources are going on. And so if those resources are no longer available to our people, then the issue of accountability has become very crucial for this government. And you will also realize that every day the newspaper are filled of allegations of corruption and that, and those institutions that we erected and that we set up to fight corruption are underfunded. And because they are underfunded, they don't have the capacity to do the justice, the totality of the situation affecting Liberia all over. That today, down and up the streets, the citizens are crying. They are crying for liberation from a government that clearly lacks the capacity to govern and lacks the capacity to take care of the economy and lacks the capacity to instill discipline even among its own rank and file. And so the Unity Party, therefore, as the party of experience and as the main opposition, we are under obligation to lead a CPP, to take by the state and put in place and reinstate those things that the Unity Party was doing, and put in place what the administration of Madame Salif was doing, reinstate rather, and to put Liberia back on the path which we put it on for 12 years, which is sadly being deviated from today. And so those are our challenges. So the job ahead and the reason for Unity Party and the CPP to take state power is the dismal failure of the current regime in all aspects of management. They have failed the state. And so what remains is the Unity Party has vast experience in governance, in public policy formulation and implementation. We have the skill set, we have the skill manpower, and when we are in collaboration with other opposition political parties and they pull with us, we become a greater force that has the capacity, that has the discipline, and has the approach to solving the problem of the Liberian people. And that's why come 2023, we will make this government a one-term government.
Your political leader is on record for saying 12 years is not enough to hold your Unity Party government accountable for a country that is 173 years old. How do you respond to that? That's your standard bearer, the only human boy.
Yeah, His Excellency Ambassador Bakai was speaking in the totality of the Liberian experience, where some detractor have the capacity, have developed the bravery to hold a Unity Party responsible for the totality of the Liberian experience. And when we came in, when the Unity Party led government came in, even before I joined the Unity Party, because I was in government in 2006, I tell you, my brother, when they say empty coffers, that was what the Unity Party inherited, not a damn. When they say a broken economy, that was what Unity Party inherited. Even the streets of Monrovia were broken. The streets of Monrovia were broken. Infrastructure, zero. Everything, zero. Institutions were all vandalized, practically vandalized, institutionally vandalized by the years of warring. And so the Unity Party embarked on a reconstruction of the state. And unfortunately, people who have lost perspective of what happened historically, they tend to say the Unity Party didn't do this, didn't do that, forgetting about where Unity Party took off from. And so the standard bearer say Unity Party cannot be blamed for 12 years of rule for not solving all of the Liberian people problem. And I think that's why he's saying he's quite right. Liberia has a historical problem. We have a historical problem of not being able to feed ourselves. We couldn't have addressed that in 12 years, but we laid a foundation. We had a historical problem of not being an industrialized country. The 12-year of Unity Party regime was not responsible for making Liberia not to be an industrialized country. We are a country that depend on imports of almost everything. It was not the creation of the Unity Party. We have a country that export raw materials even now. It was in the work of the Unity Party. When the Unity Party came in, the hydro has been damaged by the warring faction called the NPFL. We rebuilt our hydro. So we had a fundamental duty of like starting from scratch. We first had to make sure electricity comes to the people. And then we innovated. By working with ECOWAS, we brought the ECOWAS power pool. And now we have electricity from other West African countries entering at 3 points into Liberia. And so now you go into rural Grand Gila, you have electricity. You go into rural Maryland, Nimba, you have electricity. And now it's coming into Bon County and it's accelerating development. And so we push it to one level. What remain is for another responsible government to come and take it for to another level. And that we will come back to do because the current government has lacked the capacity to keep pushing the development agenda. And so we will come back. And so that is the context with which in our standard bearer spoke.
Nima County is very vital as it relates to politics in Liberia. Tell us about your relationship with the godfather of the political. Tell us about the relation of the political leader of Nima County, Honorable Prince White Johnson.
Senator Johnson, and myself happen to hail from the same district, which is called Zoga district. Our central town is Baum, and our administrative headquarters is Butuo, which is rather known for the rebel incursion. Then for many other good things we will know Butuo for. So Senator Johnson and myself, we hail from the same district. We work in the same caucus for 12 years, and when I was secretary of that caucus for 9 years, he intermittently served as chair on 2 different occasions. So we work together. We have some working relationships together, but we have also gone against each other in every elections. He and I have never been on the same side in any elections. In the 2005 runoff elections, he headed the CDC agenda, and I headed the Unity Party agenda, and we prevailed against him. The records are all there. We gave him a thrashing in Nima County in 2005, and that laid a foundation, very pivotal foundation for Madam Saleh's sweep of the county and nationally, and the usher in the Madam Saleh presidency in 2011. Again, when we were running, we were able to withstand our own. He launched a party that was actually a Nimba-centric party and swept most of the legislative seats. But we put a halt to it, and we maintained the central Nimba, the Zoget, and the Sake Pieman belt. And today it is everybody know is the Unity Party belt, and we've been holding it. And even when we stood down and didn't run in 2017, again Prince Johnson could not take District 7. We maintain it as a Unity Party district. So he has his cloud, we equally have our cloud, and we have maintained the central Nimba as the bastion of the Unity Party. So we have only political differences, but at a personal level, we speak to each other, we're friends, and he has his political agenda, but we think the Unity Party has always has its chances in Nimba, and we have always taken our chances in Nimba.
Well, earlier during the program, you said you are, in fact, one of the executives of the Unity Party. In the 2017 presidential election, was there an issue between former Vice President Boyka and former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf? If yes, what was it, and what did you do about this as an executive of the Unity Party?
Thank you very much. At that precise moment, I was an executive, but currently I'm not an executive because my executive membership was by virtue of my being a sitting lawmaker. So since January of 2018, I'm not on the executive committee of the NEC of the Unity Party. Let me make that clarification.
So you were,
But at that point of your reference,
yeah, you were then
at the point of your reference, I was on the NEC. Okay. From my observation, there was no fundamental problem between President Sirleaf and her Vice President Bakai, but there was rather a perception built by the former chairman, which led to friction between the 2 principals of the Unity Party. And I think that was the root of the problem. The caucus tried on many occasions to bridge the gap so that we can have a united front going to the elections. But unfortunately for us, most of those overtures, they were baffled. The then chairman was determined on a course of action to keep the 2 principals apart. And as a chairman, he used his office to that effect. And I think it was detrimental to the Unity Party. There were occasions when some of us openly told them that we cannot be going to war and be fighting another eternal war. The worst war to fight is civil war. Have we not learned that from our own Liberian experience? The most destructive war is civil war. And so the Unity Party period of civil war was not of the making of the standard bearer or the standard bearer emeritus. It was rather the leadership, the former chairmanship, that had an agenda for whatever reason to brew conflict between the two principal, and unfortunately, it resulted in the disunity, which today we have crossed over. And so that is past history. But we did play our role to try to bridge the gap. But unfortunately, you had a leadership that was like focused on it as if that was uh, the formula to success, and we knew it never was a formula to success.
Well, political campaign is war, and you just alluded to that. Now, there were certain issues with former Unity Party Chairman William Pay. What were
Mhm.
troubling mistakes made by Mr. Pay that you would not repeat as chairman of Unity Party?
One of the fundamental policy mistake of that leadership was to foment tension and division in the party. To look at one group of people and call them the Madame Salif people, and look at other group and call them this other people. I think that was what brought all the hullabaloo and the wahala in the Unity Party. And the capacity for leadership to understand that differences in policy or critique in your policy is not enmity. These were the shortcomings of that leadership. If anybody become critical of their policy or pronouncement, they henceforth consider that person as an enemy. But for us, from our background in our experience in leadership and in institutional building, it is through criticism and self-criticism that you make progress. And there should be room for healthy policy debate, as is enshrined even in the constitution of the Unity Party, because the constitution of the Unity Party called for competition of ideas. Isn't that why we are going for convention? Competition of ideas. We are putting forth various ideas to the people. And once someone is elected, we all should close our rank behind that person. But one of the fundamental mistakes of that leadership was those who have different policy prescription and put it on the table, that person is automatically characterized or stigmatized as the enemy. I remember very well there were those who believed that another person should have been standard bearer and post and put up a campaign, and right away they called them enemy. They were not enemy. They were just people who believe in a competition atmosphere created by the party, and so that was the fundamental ground. And that was a key thing that led to the disunity and the confusion and the misunderstanding in the party that make the campaign to not be directed. And so those are issues that were not happening in our leadership. We will be open, we will be frank, and we will encourage and engender exchange of views and exchange of ideas, criticism of ideas, so that we can arrive at a workable solution in solving the problem and taking state power back. Because our fundamental mission would be to retake state power.
Well, folks, if you're just joining us, this is Ashford Garley Live. This program comes on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time till 10 p.m. And we have with us the aspirant for the position of the chairman of the Unity Party, the Honorable uh, Walia Sewa Donna. Tomorrow we will have into our Breach Radio Studios Mr. Josh Lobo. Josh Lobo will be our special guest tomorrow night. Later on the program, we're going to open up the telephone lines where you will call in and have a few questions for the honorable. In the meantime, back to reality and back to base. Tell us about this strength of your standard bearer, of which you want him elected as president of Liberia.
Our standard bearer is one of the few Liberians who has vast experience in leadership on the various regime, and so he has possessed the capacity, he have acquired the experience, and at his level he's one of the few senior statesmen in Liberia at the moment, and widely respected in the sub-region and internationally. internationally. And so he has got that capacity for leadership. And that Liberia, if Liberia, by the grace of God, Liberia falls in the hands, Liberia will be in the hand of a steady, a capable and an experienced and a seasoned captain who can steer the affairs of Liberia to a very successful agenda. And one of the skills he has is to bring people together and to make decisions that will be correct for the people. And looking at his track record, 12 years as a vice president of the Republic of Liberia, working with Madame Salif, he understands the difficulty, the challenges of building, of rebuilding a country that was wrecked by 12 years of useless civil war. So he has that capacity, unlike many other persons. And he has sat in a room where critical decisions have been made, and he has contributed to the critical decision. So overall, when you look at him, his strength is his experience, his capacity, and his decision-making skills. And these are what he will bring to the table to lead Liberia successfully, because he's a man who knows how to build harmony in a room. And you can't show me one person who would say, look, who will have a enmity with Joe Barker other than policy difference. And that's the kind of person that we think is fit to lead Liberia. And that's why he stand out. And we hope under the CPP arrangement, he can be the top dog and he can lead us to victory.
Now, going forward with the Unity Party, what is the relevance of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf?
Madam Salif, as you are aware, she, for the moment, she's the most successful standard bearer of the Unity Party currently. And she has played a historic role in Liberia. She is the first president since 1944 who has peacefully transferred power to her successor. And you take it a little bit beyond that, she is actually the first Liberian president who has actually transferred power to an opposition elected president in a free democratic culture and environment. So she has played a historic role. Besides, she helped to put Liberia on the path of peace and development. And in my view, she is the mother of Liberia. That's why the whole country call her Ma Ellen. So Ma Ellen, while it is true today she's out of politics, she has retired, she has paid her quota to the state, she remains an eminent and respected figure that the Unity Party should revere her. But she's out of politics. She's not involved in Unity Party politics, and I don't think she should be involved in Unity Party politics. But she's a modelly figure to the whole country, and the Unity Party can just reflect on her role and the achievement and those things that she do going forward, and build a new momentum for re-election in 2023 based on her achievement. And that's how I see Madam Salif. I see her as the mother of the nation and as the most successful Unity Party standard bearer, and as a person that the party can look at her work and look at her path and guide itself into new successes along the road that she have already built for us.
Okay, now there are some who say that the Unity Party needs a chairman who knows very well both former President Sirleaf and former Vice President Boyka to be able to navigate the party and keeps it stimulated. And you are not that person. How do you respond?
I have worked with both of them. You recall that under our constitution, the vice president is the president of the Senate, and his offices is in the Capitol building. And as secretary of the UP caucus for 4 years, I had to work with Vice President Barkai closely, and also on the NEC as vice standard bearer, and subsequently as standard bearer, I had to work with him. And at the same time, I also work with Madam Salif. So I cordially work with the both key principals of the Unity Party over time from 2006 to 2018. And I think I can bring harmony between them. And I think I can bridge the gap if there is any. And I think I can contribute to a harmonious working relationship in the Unity Party. And I can help the standard bearer by building a very strong and formidable party infrastructure to buttress his work and lead the party forward.
Now, you spoke about uniting the party. What is Honorable Boycott doing?
And
What is Honorable Joseph Boycott doing to rebuild trust among partisans who are disgruntled due to his actions?
sorry, we are having a heavy rainstorm here. It's getting difficult to hear you. But at the moment, the standard bearer is focused on rebuilding the party, party offices being reopened, party structures and organs being revived, and overall overhauling of the party, and bringing into force a new type of leadership to take the party forward, and in working with the collaborating political party framework. So those are the focus I see of the standard bearer now, and we'll be able to help in that process as well and give leadership to it, and provide that administrative and technical skill in guiding the unity party under his watch.
Again, folks, if you just joined us, this is Bridge Radio Africa. We're live here this afternoon, this evening, this morning on www.bridgeradioafrica.com. And tomorrow we're going to have George Lobo in our Bridge Radio studio to get prepared for him. Very talking George like with the no nonsense. At this time, folks, we want to see if we can open the telephone lines now to see if you have the question for Wally, the Honorable Wally Donna, and the number to call, folks, 248. All right, 248-979-1718. That's for the call. And as we listen forward to hearing from you, the comments, want to go back to Information Highway, where Lexi Brooks rap. We're guys to read out some comments. This is Robert. If you are there, please pick it up from there.
Sure. Awesome. So we have trending. Taking it from the top, we have Charlie Garley, Washington, Minnesota. Our West. Hi, speaking of this data, we have Terry Zapapolu. I am blessed to be on this show. We have Something Gay. Hello, Ashford, the DQ Giant. Ronald Shepherd is watching from Brooklyn, New York. Asumana Billy, good morning. The Giants watching you from Adelaide, South Australia. Emmanuel Charles.
How about you?
He is a brilliant son of Nimba. Can't wait to listen to him.
One more question.
Alex Nimble is watching from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Bob Jr. is watching. Zawinkin share the screen, and Bob K. Bowling says the Giants. Dear Garley, hello family. Jane Harry watching from Minnesota.
Okay.
Joanna Shear watching from Norway.
Thank you.
Is watching.
Thank you, Lexi. Now I want to go to the cutoff line. Then we have the last four digits of the number 0538. Tell us your name.
Yeah, okay. My name is Philip Nyuma, again, calling from San Diego, California.
Okay, welcome to the show.
You get earpiece?
Okay, thank you. I'm happy you are hosting one of our partisans who want to be a chairman for the Unity Party, which I'm part of. And I said the Unity Party saying we got merged from Action Party to the Unity Party. I said I wanted the senior mobile also be fighting for the state. But this is what I feel that we should be doing. I agree he comes from Lima and he used to be in the legislature. He was like our impressing Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. But I have a different version. The Unity Party, the legacy Madam Ellen left is not the kind of legacy some of us of corruption was very huge. And then I was with the GSC, I can tell you, it didn't go down well with some of us. And then just to put her for that,
Maria,
for my policy. And I don't want to continue to hear people hailing this woman because what she had done to that country, she did not set a good precedent. So I want a new breed. And because we have a huge challenge. Anybody that will be coming to become a chairperson have to come with new ideas how we can fight corruption. It's not about basing your support from Madam Ellen and the rest of the people who have been reasonable politicians that have done nothing for that country. Some of us, if you come to the polls with Madam Ellen did. So I'm asking him to be very careful and be focused and look at what the Liberal people want. We are against corruption. We want the party cannot continue to say one thing and do one thing. So that's just what I want to
Thank
say.
you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we have another call on the line. The last four digits of the number 0291. Tell us your name.
Yeah, thank you. This is James Lassa, calling from Wintermill, Maryland.
Welcome to the show.
I'm glad to be
Thank you, James. Welcome to the show.
good. I see that the former aspirant is still sitting there. And before I can proceed, I would like him to kindly let me know if his sister is anywhere around in Monrovia or if his sister used to be my workmate, Kuala Duna. That's his sister. But I just even though he's a pretty young man, it's difficult. This in terms of the bad corrupt legacy of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. And by doing that, he is actually negating whatever credit or benefit that might be due him or to his ability as a leader. I think he should begin to think deeply
Well,
and begin to disentangle himself from
well,
Ellen Johnson. Hello?
yeah. Listen, 612. Please hold your thoughts. Somebody is speaking. We'll get to you. Thank you. Go ahead, sir. Mr. Lassa.
Yeah, he should begin to disentangle himself from the corrupt and murderous record of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. He should be capable of projecting a very positive image of Unity Party without actually entangling the party with the bad record of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. If he's very aware of it, I want him to know that I'm speaking to him in good faith. That this is something he needs to do. Ellen didn't do anything good for that country but bad. She's corrupt. And everything we are is doing is modeled after what she did. The stealing, holding back money and not paying lawmakers until they are blackmailed to already pass bills against the Liberian people, the concessions, and everything. Nothing George Weah is doing in that country that Ellen didn't do. He is copying from her. So it should be impossible for him to be promoting Unity Party and VP out there. A very good man, VP Boakai, on the basis that Ellen Johnson has to be the one who has to carry the glory, or as if that cannot be done without promoting her. Those two things cannot be accomplished at the same time. That would be a difficult task, and he is intellectually capable of drawing a line between the two. He should try to do that. Other than
Thank
that,
you.
that would be a vain undertaking.
Thank you.
And I want to give tribute to the Unity Party. It's a very strong party. I don't agree with lazy figures who blame the Unity Party for those parts of the Unity Party. The corrupt Unity Party is made of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, Robert Sirleaf, Charles Sirleaf, Amara Conley, George Phillips, Minister Eugene
Thank you,
Langley.
Mr. Caller.
Those are the part of the Unity Party that have left and have joined the CDC. So the Unity Party that is not existing is a great party and must be projected and promoted without having to bring in Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Thank you very much for the time, and I appreciate it.
Again, that was the voice of Mr. James Lassa from the East Coast, making his presence known here. And folks, again, we have the Honorable Donna, who wants to be chairman of the Unity Party. And I want us to please stick to the topic. This man wants to be chairman of the Unity Party, and asking questions in that regard, please. Okay? And if you just join us, folks, we'll take two more questions and go back to you, uh, honorable representative. We have 612. The last four digits of your number, 1777. Tell us your name.
Ashford Garley is here. I'm not calling from Minneapolis.
Good. Welcome to the show, and please
Uh,
be a little bit louder.
yeah, I applaud my brought in studio, honorable man. I just have a one question for him that has to do with CPT or the two candidate honor CPT, the lady and the other brother. Who do you think that capable of winning that position? We really want to know if more much people do not win.
Okay, well, we're in one position.
In terms of love, the people, who you think get more weight? The one speaking of in your own knowledge. That is the question that I really want to know.
Thank
Because
you.
then we having a lot of conflicting and we really want that particular.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go back to the guests in studio, folks. This is Honorable Donut, and I'm telling you, folks, today's program has been brought to you by Mr. Alvin Peno from Indiana, young, astute young man that loves the things of politics. He was once the president of the Labrador Association in Indiana, and he's in fact the sponsor for the program tonight. What is a big thank you to you, Mr. Pendant, for your sponsorship. Want to go back to you, Honorable. You heard the callers, and we need some responses.
You back to me?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
I am back. I'm back to
Are you
you.
back to me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm really sorry, Mr. Garley. I will try my best to respond to the pieces I heard because of a very heavy rainstorm. So I'm having difficulty in hearing all of the inquiries. But let me respond to what I heard. I heard one of the caller talking about going forward for the Unity Party and what ideas we bring to the table. Probably from the beginning of the conversation, we said we have a responsibility to make the Unity Party to be a wholesome, functional political party. In that way, it means restructuring, reinvigorating, and rejuvenating the various branches and chapters and zones and cells of the party. And we also have to rebrand the party. We are making the party to be responsive to the needs of the partisans in order to be able to derive a workable platform that will attract the Liberian people once again, like it did in 2005 and 2011. And so that is the responsibility here, to make the party to work again, to build cohesiveness and unity in the party, which was a missing ingredient in our 2017 failure. So those are the core responsibility of functioning party by way of administration, by way of institution, by way of capacity building, and also a cohesive party by using our leadership skills to bring the various sector factors and forces in the party together. And that is our responsibility. And we think we have gathered enough leadership skill and experiences to bear that out and to lead a party in that direction. If there were some that didn't hear, you can please refresh my mind. I'm having problem with the rainstorm.
Well, there was another caller who said Ellen Johnson, former President Shelley, did not do too well in terms of governing the country. As a matter of fact, it was massive corruption. So when you come on here, he wants to hear you talk about we talk about Joseph Boca and what is it that Joseph Boca has planned for Liberia, and he wants you to distance yourself from former President Saleh. I think that one of the things.
Yeah, actually, thank you. Actually, this chairmanship contest is not about presidential bid of Joseph Boakai at the moment. We are talking about putting our house in order so that we can approach 2023 with whosoever will be our standard bearer. So that is where we are at the moment. As regard a judgment on the leadership of Madam Saleh, as a political party, Madam Saleh was our standard bearer. and that was a Unity Party-led administration. So we are building on the achievements of that administration. There will be those who will not agree with everything about that administration. Neither are we pretending that that administration did everything right. But there is one thing that that administration did right. That administration fostered the peace and unity of Liberia. That administration put Liberia on the path of development, of reconstruction. Roads network were constructed. The streets of Monrovia were laid. Electricity were brought in. Our financial sector was set in place, and a whole range of reforms were instituted. And we made the Liberia government to be a functional government. And the reason many persons were able to see some of these ills, which are historic, is because the Unity Party-led government under Madame Salif and her Vice President Boakai were able to bring forth and give birth to those institutions that are called integrated institutions. So the work of those integrated institutions that we ourselves established is in fact part of the credit that comes to the Unity Party-led government. For example, the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, the Independent Audit Authority, the Auditor General Office. Those were reforms that were driven by Madam Salif personally. And those reforms and those integrated institutions, their work have come to expose some level of systemic and endemic corruption that was in the body politic of Liberia. And therefore, the work of the LACC under Madam Salif government was our achievement. It was part of our agenda to fight corruption. We knew corruption has been endemic in Liberia. We know corruption has been systematic. In fact, the entire 133 years of the settler regime control of the state was a compact state. The state was nothing but the super of the TWP. And those become the political culture of Liberia. And that is why the Unity Party level government bring to bear those integrated institutions to fight the endemic and systemic corruption in our system. And at the same time, we were in the business of reconstructing Liberia, and we did exceptionally well. Compared to what is happening today, what is happening today is a total disgrace. So the Unity Party-led government fought corruption and built a mechanism to fight corruption. And so we cannot be disagreed upon. We started a war against corruption in earnest in Liberia, and give us credit for that. And going forward, if the Unity Party government retakes state power, we are going to reinvigorate those various institutions that we gave birth to continue the fight that we started.
Well, you said the Unity Party-led government fought corruption.
Definitely.
Under the leadership of the Unity Party-led government for the last 12 years, can you point out one prisoner that was sent to jail for corruption?
There were a lot of people that were sent to courts. As to sending people to jail, as you will be aware, that is the province of the judiciary. And we were running a constitutional government, so we could not interfere in the running of the judiciary under the tripartite arrangement of our constitution. An independent judiciary should do its work. You remember the case of one Dr. Brupler? Remember the case of Matilda Parker from the NPA? She was removed from her job as managing director and turned over to the judiciary process. Equally so, Dr. Brupler was removed as Minister of Information and turned over to the judiciary process. And you remember the case of former Speaker Tyler, Senator Chairman, who was even a chairman, a sitting chairman of the Unity Party, was indicted by the Unity Party-led government. And so if you say, so those are high profile proof of Unity Party clear fight against corruption, which will continue under our administration once we retake state power. And we will be out there standing out against any corrupt practices, even in this government as ever.
Now,
fighting corruption was started in earnest by the Unity Party. As for people being convicted and going to jail, that was left with the judiciary.
Now, what do you then say to others who are saying Why didn't the Unity Party advocate on anti-corruption and accountability in the Unity Party-led government and public service?
I didn't hear that, please.
Why didn't the UP or you advocate for anti-corruption and accountability in the Unity Party-led government?
We did. As you may be aware, we were in the legislation when we passed the act creating the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. We also passed the act creating the Internal Audit Authority. We also revised and strengthened the Auditing Commission so that it did not report to the executive and it now report to the legislature. So all of these were standard institution, integrated institution that commenced their work. Their work were able to expose the systemic and endemic historical culture of corruption in Liberia, for which many persons were indicted and taken to court. So at the precise moment we're in a unity party-led government, we were supporting the government effort against corruption by working to create the institution, by providing budgetary allotment for the institution, by using those institution reports by the legislative committee to verify and turn over to the LACC for indictment, like it happened in several instances. So the unity party-led government. Oh my God.
We can hear you. You're still good.
Yeah,
You're still good. Okay. Again, folks, if you're just joining us, we have with us tonight Honorable Dona. He's our special guest. He wants to be chairman of the Unity Party in Liberia. He's joining us tonight from West Africa, Monrovia, Liberia, because of the heavy storm tonight. I think we have a little break in transmission there. But in the meantime, we want to visit Information Hallway, where I believe Mrs. Brooks Rabbits is standing back to fill us in with some of these comments we have trending. Mrs. Rabbits.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Garley. So we have trending few great comments, and we have one from Councillor Jerome J. Verdier Sr. He says, a whole range of reforms were instituted. Your guest said, what are the reforms? What good are anti-corruption initiatives when the government was never audited?
I'm just going to take a bathroom break as you read these comments. I'll be right back.
Sure. Steve Samyen says, this guy is planted in the race to undermine the presidential bid of VP boycott. He is working for the CDC government. Sarah Putuweyu writes, Ellen Johnson is a criminal and very wicked. What she did to our people and country, including Omen boycott, it makes me to see she is not a real human being, but a demon from hell. Howard Metzger writes, too many honorables, too many political parties, no innovation to our country. I am suffocating. How can a woman who ruled for 12 years, all NGO operated safe homes receive millions of dollars, and our people, I think she didn't, and our people still stuck? Thank you. Jabba Talawayan says, you hippo, she is better than yours, your useless CDC government. Steve saying, the unity of JMB is the best. Ellen and her bag boys are very corrupt. Smith Dawier, Unity Party made a big mistake by incorporating criminal Ellen. Jabba Talawayan, because now you want to be senator, you are claiming that she is bad. We have Victoria B. Cheeks in the house. Rocadia Jones is watching. Steve saying, thank you, caller. J. Robertson Tier, I agree with this caller. Smith Dawie, thank you, caller. Sarah Putuwei writes, this old man is very wicked to the extent that he shouldn't support. This old mom, rather, is very wicked that to the extent that she couldn't support her own VP to be president of Mama Liberia. I know her reason because she didn't want to go to the war crimes court, but she will go one day, like it or not, it will happen. Just a matter of time.
Two more.
Mona Lisa Morris writes, Unity Party taught the We Are-led government how to loot the country. Sarah Putuwei, if I hear people calling witchcraft Ellen Ma, it makes my heart to bleed because she is not a mother, but a wicked demon, criminal, and evil person. Thank you, Mr. Garley. Back to you.
Again, thank you. I want to go back to the telephone line. I believe we have 3746. Is that the last four digits of your number?
Yes, sir. I'm right here, Mr. Garley.
Go ahead, make your point. You live on the radio.
Oh, thank you very much for the time on your talk show. I want to say thanks to your guest also, Mr. Donner. Mr. Donner, you came to run a campaign, almost like a campaign, but then it seems to be like you have put some dark shadow over your campaign by including Madam Salif into your whole talk. And I can assure you, if you continue including Madam Salif into your talk, you'll regret what you ever did. We are the Unity Party. Majority of us, why it's true that you are Alpha Bearer and the president of Liberia, would not really want to hear about her. So please, I'm begging you for your own advice. Heed to this, take Madam Salif out of the campaign. Please. And my question to you is that the Unity Party. You benefited from the Unity Party as a representative. What can you show? What tangible? What are some of the things that you really did for the party that make you to think that electing you now as a chairman, you're going to do better than what you did as a representative? That's one. And two, the former chairman is just from Nimba County. The former chairman that we just had, just recently, is from Nimba County. Don't you think it will be a good idea that we take this chairmanship instead of everyone or you coming from just Nimba? Thank you very much.
Did you get the questions?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I can respond.
Right, go ahead.
I can respond. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. You can respond. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. I guess the listener came a bit late, but Madam Salif has never been part of our campaign. Let me make that clarification. We were only responding to questions about her role. So she's never been. She's out of politics. She's never been part of this campaign, and she will never be. Concerning our contribution to the Unity Party, when we joined the Unity Party, we became secretary of the caucus, and one of the policies we helped to adapt and to sell was a monthly contribution, direct payroll from lawmakers, which is a policy that continues today. We instituted that. And when I was representative, I opened and operated 3 offices for the United Party, one in Sakepie, one in Bang, and one in Butuo. And these offices, we coordinated a campaign in that area in 2011. And after that, we provided offices for the United Party even in 2017 campaign. That office is still being used by my successor, who is also a Unity partisan. We created a zone for Unity Party in Nimba, which anybody can verify, because in 2011 when Senator Johnson virtually won all the seats in Nimba. We maintained that seat for Nimba County. And in 2017, when I wasn't running, I helped my successor to win that seat and retain that seat for Unity Party. So we have done a lot of work for Unity Party nationally and in our location. As regards the issue of Nimba, my candidacy is not based on my origin. My candidacy is based on my capacity to serve and my right as a partisan and a senior partisan to go for leadership. And my entire campaign is built on, look here, I am among all the candidates, the only candidate that had experience as a political leader in opposition, because I was Secretary General of the New Deal movement during the Charles Taylor Iraq. And that was a very tough time to be a political leader in Liberia. And I served competently. I led our party to elections in 2005, coordinating the elections activity from the position of Secretary General. So I have experience in working as an opposition political leader. And we are currently the main opposition party in Liberia. And we think among all the candidates, we bring that to the table. And these are the skill set that we think are unique, and we think we have the capacity after years in the legislature working to support the party structurally, financially. We think we are able and we possess the capacity to coordinate the party, to put the party together and move ahead. And that's where our strength lies. Our strength and our appeal and our stand for leadership is not based on origin, it's not built on tribe, it's not built on ethnicity. Nothing is built on our capacity to lead, and that's why we are selling to the delegates and to the party. Give us the opportunity to lead a party. We are the most experienced, and we have possessed the capacity to put people together and lead this party forward with a vision that will rebuild it, or rebrand it, or rejuvenate it, and carry forward to recapture state power in 2023. And that's why our mission is simple.
Okay, I want to go back to the telephone line. We have Mr. Ivan Pennant on the line from Indianapolis. Mr. Pennant, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mr. Garley, and welcome, Honorable.
Thank you very much
for your service. I heard you lay out the procedures and the responsibility in the lower house. So I understand that you knew exactly what you were doing. And thank you for all that you did for the people of Nimba County and the people of the Republic of Liberia. That said, my question is, what is the political philosophy of the UP? And then coming into the CC, the conglomerate, what are the philosophy of each of those parties? How do they align themselves with that of the Unity Party to foster the agenda of national development without chaos? Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
I can come in?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pennant. I appreciate you taking your time to follow this show. The issue of ideology and political philosophy amongst Liberian political party, I'm laughing because it's real. From what I know, there are only one or two political parties in Liberia that will say, this is our ideology and this is our philosophy. And that one happened to be the New Deal, which is social democracy. The progressive party like LPP, UPP, they just say they are progressive. So the Unity Party being a combination of the Liberian Action Party, which was predominantly people who came from the TWP, you can call it a conservative party, and then the Unity Party equally founder was from the TWP too. The LUP, which was led by Tisha Kule, being a grassroots party. So the Unity Party you see today is a merger of grassroots and conservative, and also today we have social democrats like myself and socialists and progressive. So you have progressive in the rank, and so it's a big house with people with various ideology, but who are clearly committed to a national agenda of rebuilding Liberia, developing Liberia, and providing the services to help Liberians. So I see the Liberty Party also as a political institution that is committed to to disciplining government and effective governance. And Mr. Kumi, also of the ANC, coming from a grassroots background, they are also a pro-people party. And then we also have the ALP of Mr. Ure, who too come from the MPP angle, a bit far different from the original three. But they are sharing a common philosophy now, a common approach now, that to put the interests of the Liberian people first, to provide responsible governance, to provide a path of leadership and responsible leadership that will be different from what we are, and to rescue Liberia from the current regime that has clearly lost direction, that have clearly lacks the capacity to manage the economy of this country, that have heightened the suffering of the Liberian people, and to be able to deliver Liberian from this regime. And so and we are converging around the point that the nation needs relief. Our people are crying, and we have the capacity, we have the skills, and we have the shared belief that Liberia deserves better, and we can deliver that better. And that's what I see in the CPP enrichment. And that, if you can call that an ideology, it's an ideology to build Liberia and to have a responsible government and the people-centered approach to development and governance in Liberia. And that is the CPP ideology, I think.
Well, Mr. Donald, you have been accused by some that you are a mode or spy within the Unity Party. Some are saying that you are working closely with the CDC government. As a matter of fact, is it true that you were against peaceful protesters during the days of the protests? As a matter of fact, you said protest was going to bring war. You have been accused of those things, and it is also hold on a minute. We're also being told that you have a consultancy with this government, specifically at the free port of Monrovia, with the National Port Authority Director, Kwakube Jr., Bill Tuawe. How true is that, sir?
The accusation is totally preposterous, is repugnant, is ridiculous. I mean, it's totally laughable that a foreign executive, an established politician, and a professional like me, someone would say those things. I found it, terrible. It's total lies. It's total fabrication. People who are spewing these lies, they have nothing against my leadership capacity to bring.
Are you not?
I'm coming. Just give me a room. You know, when people they say in a fight, when the man has nothing to counter a clean character, he goes and picks dirt. So they are looking for dirt, which they can't find. I have told you from the onset of this show that I'm a practicing lawyer. So as a practicing lawyer, it is my right to practice my profession and to provide legal services. That is how I earn my income. And I provide legal services. If Mr. Tuawe happens to be my client, does that compromise me in any way? If someone who works in the private sector happen to be my client, or someone who works for you happen to be my client, does that compromise my integrity? It's totally ridiculous accusation. And it has nothing to do with what we have seen. Some of these people making the accusation, they have brought nothing to the Unity Party table in years. Some of these people making the accusation, they have contributed nothing to strengthening and bringing the Unity Party to where it is. We have worked tireless over time. You understand, Mr. Garley? I just told you in the 2011 campaign, how we opened and operated 3 to 4 offices. How in the 2017 elections, we made high cash contribution. We didn't stop there. We campaigned tireless. In fact, my wife was on the ticket of the Unity Party in District 4 in Nima County. My whole family has put into the work of the Unity Party. So those accusations are totally ridiculous, to say the least. And people are leaving the issue of this campaign. The issue of this campaign is who has the skill set to lead this party, to unite this party. At the precise moment that we were instituting and demanding for unification in the party, there were people who didn't want unity in the party. Today, the standard bearer has declared reconciliation in the party, and we are happy that everybody has embraced it. As regards the issue of protests, my stand has been, Mr. Garley, that the Unity Party as the main opposition, there were press statements that are issued to that effect, that the Unity Party as the main opposition should take the lead and I am willing to step into the street when a Unity Party-led demonstration is going on. That was all I said. I did not say it was not their right to demonstrate. No, that was not what I said. I said I will step in the street only under the banner of Unity Party and not to subsume the Unity Party, which is the official opposition of Liberia, to a small little group from somewhere. No, I can't do that. I'm an institutional person. I'm a Unity Party partisan. I'm the partisan. And so my position was clear, it's still on record, that I will get in the street under the banner of the Unity Party, and other groups can come as auxiliary. But the Unity Party should not reduce itself to work under a pressure group. And I still stand by that stand that Joseph Boakai is the main opposition leader of Liberia, and the Unity Party is the main opposition party, and we must take leadership role and provide alternative to the problem that confront Liberia instead of following people. We must lead. Is that what make you more of CDC? I'm saying we should lead. I'm saying we should call it.
Now, Mr.
And I'm saying we need leaders who need a mentor to lead the country. That's what we're all about.
Mr. Donut, you accuse this government of incompetence. You also accuse this government of lack of accountability. You mentioned the 15 billion.
Yeah.
You also mentioned the 5 million. So are you telling me now, with your expertise, to go and take a consultancy with the National Port Authority, with Bill Toby, is that the best you could do? 4.5 million?
No. You're missing the point. I have just clarified to you that my work as a lawyer with Mr. Twawe must not be misconstrued as working for the government. And I've told you people are interested in spilling dirt. So I cannot follow them into the mud. My issue is the leadership of the Unity Party. I'm a lawyer. If Mr. Twawe brings a piece of paper for me to work on, a contract to review or a contract to draft and pay me.
So you don't have to with him?
Yeah, I'm coming. So if Mr.
Mr. Twawe or with the MP, sir?
I did some work for Twawe back then. I did some work for him in 2019.
Are you still working for him now?
I currently I'm not doing any particular work right now.
Are you still working for him?
I'm not doing any particular work for him right now. But if they want my legal expertise on legal issues, if he goes to court and needs my legal services, I will render my legal services.
So as former executive of the Unity Party, somebody who wants to be the face of the party, do you think it's the right to do to seek consultancy for government that you claim is incompetent? That
you are missing the point. No, I think you are missing the point here. I have just told you that as a lawyer, I can work for people. I can review papers. I can prepare a variety of papers for people. I can review a variety of documents. And it's purely on the professional level. So it does not in any way undercut my capacity to deliver to my party or to do my work, because I'm an independent lawyer. And people misconstrue those one or two work that we've done to mean that we work for Bill Twawe. That is wrong. I work for a large number of clients. It happened to just be one. So it does not affect our capacity in any way to lead a Unity Party. And it has never affected our capacity to work. And if you will recall, under our arrangement in Liberia, even while you are in government as a lawyer, you can still do legal work. You know that? If you are in the legislature, you can still go to court on civil matters. You can still write. You can still write contracts and stuff like that for people.
There are a lot of citizens who are lawyers, and you are being seen as an outsider. Do you think they feel comfortable working with you as providing legal services for the NPA?
If my expertise is called to review a particular document, a single document that I know it has no political bearing, it's a technical work, and I'm a Liberian, has the expertise, and someone tell me that job cannot be done, then that person has problem, because that is a different thing. We are talking about legal professional work. We are not talking about political work. I cannot do political work for CDC. I've never been associated with CDC in any way, and nobody can point you out and say at this point, say I do not associated with CDC. No.
You are one of the major political actors. Okay, as a matter of fact, you want to be chairman of the Unity Party, a major political party in Liberia. Don't you?
Mhm.
Don't you see your affiliation or your consultancy, your legal advice to the NPA as conflict of interest?
I do not see that, because at the time I was doing that work, I I was not in the chairmanship of the Unity Party. And even if I were in the chairmanship of the Unity Party, if I'm doing a purely legal work that has to do with the courts, it does not represent or with a review of a contract or drafting of some legal papers. I don't see it as a conflict with my political operations. I don't see it, because the legal profession is one profession that is protected by the Constitution in Article 21, I think. So you see the way it operates. It doesn't interfere with what they do and how they run and their policy. It's specifically a particular paper that I looked at that time. I come in because the papers that I look at that time are institutional paper. They are not personal paper. So the confusion should be erased off the mind of people. So it's a professional. It was a professional piece of work I did, actually.
So you talk about the professional piece of what you did back then. So the you stop doing the work because you want to be chairman of the Unity Party? Because you said when you did it, the consult.
No. I'm actually telling you that we did that professional piece of work some time ago. That's what I said. And
back then,
I am saying doing legal consultancy for anybody, I don't think it compromises my capacity to serve the Unity Party, and that I can say for free. Doing legal consultancy, being a lawyer for an individual, I don't think it compromises my capacity to serve the Unity Party, and the Unity Party delegate can make a decision on that. And I think my opponents, I unduly leaving the issues that we should deal with in these elections, which are the issue of capacity, the issue of vision, and the issue of which direction we want to take the party in.
Now, some are saying you and Bill Tuawe were former colleagues in the House, and because of your closeness, that's one of the reasons why you served as consultant to provide legal.
I don't know, but what is clear is that we serve at the House, and as you will recall, I was a ranking officer, chair on judiciary, and by that I handle a lot of concession, important documents, and I handle them competently. And I also led an international delegation, and while out there, I handle a lot of important documents for the ACP group of countries. And
1 minute,
and so in the time, sorry, I'll take a sip. So in that time, we were able to acquire skills. So if my former workmate sees me as a good lawyer and asks me to do a piece of job which he will pay for, of course I will do that piece of job, because it does not in any way compromises my capacity to serve. That is my view.
Don't you think it kind of compromises your integrity as somebody who wants to be the chairperson of a major political party in Liberia, who settled down for just a mere consultancy?
I don't know how you understand it, and I don't know how I can explain it further to you. But what I can say to you is the work I handled for Mr. Tuawe at that time cannot in any way impede the operation of the Unity Party or my own political agenda anywhere, anytime, because we are not into a political arrangement, and neither have we done any political work together. So it does not in any way impedes any future political work that I may do because I review a certain document. And I'm being very clear with you. I review a certain document. Reviewing a document cannot compromise your capacity to deliver in another institution.
What would I want to do with a government that said that have no integrity? I mean, lack of accountability. Don't you see your action to be one of the reasons why perhaps you will not be elected chairman of Unity Party because of conflict of interest? Don't you see that?
I don't see that as a conflict of interest. I've told you I don't see it as a conflict of interest. I've told you the role of every lawyer in Liberia is protected by the law, and I'm of the conviction that I will be elected as a chairman of the Unity Party. I'm very sure, and I'm sure I can do a very competent job because I have the experiences, and over time I'm able to deliver.
So when did you stop providing consultancy with the NPA of Mr. Twawe? Hello?
Hello?
When did,
Hello?
when did you stop providing consultancy with Mr. Twawe or the NPA?
Hello?
Will.
Hello?
Yeah, hold on. I'm asking.
Am I here?
Yeah.
Okay.
My
Mr.
question.
Garley.
Okay. My question.
Okay.
My question to you is.
Now
Okay. When did you
Now-
when did you start providing consultancy with the NPA or Mr. Twawe?
Oh, I have just told you that in the work I do for clients,
You said
I'm coming.
Hello? You said you no longer consult with Mr. Twawe or the NPA. You are now contesting to be chairman of the Unity Party. My question to you: when did you stop the consultancy? We're having a bad signal here. I hope he can refresh his screen to hear us as we wait for him to readjust. We want to go to the telephone line, and we have Mr. Einard Mehmet on the line. Hello, Einard.
Yes, I just wanted to say some things. I've been following the conversation so far. And just, you guys are having a very good conversation. I think the guest is really handling these sort of complex questions very well and expressing himself, in a very good way. First of all, I just want to say the Honorable is a person that, due to full disclosure, I know pretty well. I know him on a personal basis. I think I'm very satisfied with a lot of things that he's done. His time in the House, the way he served his people of Nimba, the roles that he played within the Unity Party on a national level, speaks for itself. I think one thing I admired is that not only did he serve in the House, but while serving, he was able to go back to school and get himself a law degree. And after getting that law degree, instead of living off of stolen money, he's opened up a private practice that he's working. If he chooses to work and do some consultancy for the government, Liberia is a small place. For a professional who has a law firm looking to earn a living, I'm not saying he should just work for anybody, but if he finds it, prudent to work for the Liberian government in a neutral way and maintain his neutral basis as member of the Unity Party, I don't see anything wrong with that. The other thing I like,
this is just not an ordinary lawyer. This is not executive of the Unity Party.
Well, he's now choosing to run as a chairman of the Unity Party. I think that's a good thing. And whatever he's done in the past, practice-wise, I'm sure if the public wants to know, he can lend full disclosure to that, so that there's no hanky-panky or undercoverness to what he did. I'm sure what work he did and how he carried out his services can speak for itself. It's the professional world, Ashford. Just how I can pick up the phone and call a professional courtesy upon you to do some stuff for me or you or vice versa, I think it's the same thing. Now, if he's representing the opposition party and not the government that serves the entire country, now that's a different case. But he works for the national government on some consultancy basis, and I think that's free and fair. That can be done anywhere in any society, even the society that you and I find ourselves in today. People do those kind of work. Now, if he's doing things like a political favor, which means to be like a betrayal, then that's an issue. But if he's rendering professional service on behalf of his firm and is full disclosure and everything is up and up in the open, I don't see anything wrong with that, Ashford.
Okay,
Here's a guy who has served diligently in the government before he even got to the House of Representatives. What he did by educating himself, by working at a grassroots level, speaks for itself. He's now left that position. He's also gone and gotten himself a law degree, and he's fostering his law profession. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Now, if he's doing things that will compromise the interests of the Unity Party, then I will have reservations for that.
Now he also agreed that he and Bill Twabe both worked in the House, and he said there was nothing wrong with his friend calling him. Now, the next question is we're going to find out as to whether there was a competitive bidding process to getting that contract if they went through that. But unfortunately, we're still trying to get him back on. But thank you, and thanks for the participation. We'll be looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night again. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. We have it's a 609 number. The last 4 digits 0451. Tell us your name.
Good evening, Mr. Garley. My name is James. I'm calling you from Williamsboro, New Jersey.
Welcome to the show, James. Go ahead, make your point.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. And I want to appreciate the fact that you had to bring this young man. I don't know how he is, but this young man on the show. And I hope and pray that you will bring all of these guys that want to run for the Unity Party chairmanship. You will bring them so that we can.
Yeah, he's the second person. We're looking forward to seeing 2 more. So rest of the show, we'll bring them on.
Okay, that's very helpful, and it's going to be very helpful for someone to make our decision.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what happened, Mr. Garley? I mean, you are really pushing the button and getting us to know this man. If I was a member of the Unity Party, I can guarantee you, I will see this man to be a Unity Party.
Speak up, please. Speak a little louder. Amplify your voice a little bit.
If I was a member of the Unity Party, I would never elect this man to lead the Unity Party. As he speaks, based on my psychological knowledge, I realize that he is out for a game. This is not what a real representative of a leading party to the government in being will speak. This guy, I'm telling you 100%, I will guarantee you, he has a different kind of a motive. This is not what he should be saying to us. So if UP is listening, I am in a collaboration with the UP. I'm a member of the NPP. And I am, of course, a member of the Communist Party. I would, because that's how you guys call it, ANC.
Thank you, sir.
I am to collaborate with somebody. This man is not faithful.
Allah.
What he said and the way he's speaking, he is working for the government and trying to make sure that he overrides the UP and bring the UP over to the government party, which is the CDC. And this will not work. I'm sorry.
Thank you. And to be quite honest with you, he was doing extremely well until we got to this consultancy contract. Then you begin to see his body language, because he's directly in front of me on camera. you know, and George Lobo is on here, my own friend and brother, because the Unity Party now. So he asking us to move on. These are some of the questions we need to ask, George. I'm pretty sure how it been the ALP, the
Come in.
ANC. I mean, you would have said something else. You know, we have this 267 number. 267, I
Lodi,
believe.
yeah, Lodi, how you doing?
Hey, Lodi, what's up? Is that 5983 your last four digits?
Yeah, Lodi, this is Bud. You know,
Hey.
let me come in defense of my little brother that trying to run for the chairmanship of UP Unity Party.
Mm-hmm.
Look, this is a professional man. They may win. I wanted to ask Brother Wadi one question, but anyway, he's off the line. Maybe he might be hearing me or he might be listening. I don't think it will August well with some callers. Okay. This man is a lawyer. We are not enemies. Liberians are not enemies. Whether which part of anything you belongs to, I can work for any other person. It is wrong for Brother Garley, a professional man, to be hired to teach another person to be like him or to defend another person. No, it is not wrong. You know, politics in Liberia is looking so, I don't know how to describe it on your show. When we come on the show now, we always be respectful. Wally served in the House of Representatives. He and Mr. Touare served together. Working for Mr. Touare to do some work for him, it doesn't mean that he leaving a Unity Party because he want to run. The man was in the House of Representatives. He left and went and got his law degree. You want to tell me, say, if anybody in the government comes tomorrow to him, he will push him away and say, no, I'm part of Unity Party, so I can't do this for this person that in the government. That's complete things that I don't really understand. Let's take for a typical example today. Atos Johnson, Loli.
Mm-hmm.
Atos Johnson is pleading for the Nigerian man. Yeah, he pleading for him. When we say Atos Johnson is pleading for George Weah nominee that he nominated and later failed, we don't do things like that. All of us as a Liberian, if I'm a professional person, I can work for any other person if I deem it necessary. Now, what he brought to me would make me to represent him, fine, I would do it. Who's going to pay me? Is somebody going to pay me? Is Unity Party going to pay me while I am sitting there? I'm a professional lawyer. Look, man, Liberia, you're not disgraced from that.
Thank
My
you.
brother is not here. I wanted to ask him one question that always Prince Johnson mentioning his name about when they went to France or either somewhere. But he's not here, but I'm going back to the show.
Go back
when
to the
I
show.
come and he's on, I will ask that question.
We're trying to get him back. We know what happened. You know, the network problem.
Okay, Garley, thank you very much, man. We should leave those type of things. Thank you.
Okay, well, the calls all dropped, and folks, we're hoping that the honorable can call back in
Costa Critic.
to answer these questions before we cut this tonight. We have a call on the line, I believe, from North Carolina. Hello, caller. Tell us your name.
Hey, my name is.
Okay, you live on the radio. Go ahead. I didn't get your name.
Yeah.
Your name again?
Yeah, my name is Francis.
Okay, welcome to the show. Go ahead, make your point.
Yes, sir. Thank you. It's just so I don't know. People come in, people defend things to be positive. How possible would that be? Who's going to trust this guy that want to be chairman of Unity Party that already working with a CDC-led government. Who's going to trust him with Unity Party chairmanship? Why are you wasting his time? That young man should not waste his time. I mean, people coming in here defense. There is nothing that's complete conflict of interest right there.
And you you're happy with a George Lewis talking say, oh, that Unity Party thing, you're leaving with Unity Party. But the thing here is the man's a public figure, and I think we deserve all right to ask the tough questions.
Of course. Like, okay, this guy is Bill Trout or consultant. I mean,
hello, my neighbor.
Hold on, sir. Hold on. I thought. I mean, look, listen. The last 4 digits of your number, 1480. Please mute your phone, and of course that goes to you as well. 3164. Please mute your phone. Somebody is speaking. Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so like I was saying, even the little boy from second grade or third grade will know exactly that that's a conflict of interest. The man already serving a government, opposition government. Then you taking and making a chairman of another big political party. What sense does that make? You know, nobody going to accept that. He should not waste his time. Let him just move on. If you want to be, doing a consultant work, then just continue it. But the thing is, clearing up, nobody actually going to look at him to say, okay, you can be the chairman. It's a political stuff. It's free for everybody. I mean, let him try. But I know I'm not a member of no party, but I'm sure he's not going to become chairman of Unity Party. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And folks, today's program has been brought to you by Mr. Davin Pennon of Indiana. I hope he can sponsor George's program tomorrow as well. I would appreciate that. This is self-initiative. We need all the donations that you can bring our way. But it's we'll ask you the tough questions. That's why we are in the middle. We want to go to the telephone line again. 1480. Tell us your name.
Hello?
1488. What is your name?
Okay, thank you. My name is Curtis V. Dolly.
Mr. Dolly, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm the national youth leader of the Unity Party visiting the U.S.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Let me thank you for hosting our senior partisan.
Uh-huh.
And let me thank all of the participants. What they've shown me is that they got interest in Liberia. They got interest in the future of the country. So I hear people say some of them are neutral, some of them are not partisan, some of them are not in any political party, but Liberia is what matters to them. And I want to thank them for that. I think when you leave Liberia and your mind begins to open and you see how the world works. Unlike Liberia, it is a very small country where there are not a lot of opportunities. For example, in the U.S., the private sector is the one driving the economy. So the issue of job is not a challenge. Every day, people got opportunity to work. There's so many requests coming for jobs and things like that. Unlike Liberia, the government is the one, and that is not unique to today. The government is the one that provides jobs for over 70% of the population. If the job is not available, you can have the professional skills, you're not going to work. So, like Partisan George Lobo said, I think this should be left with the delegates. They should be left with the Unity Party people to make a determination as to among the candidates who they will be electing. But let me be sad to say that all of the candidates who have put their hands up to contest for the chairmanship of the party, they are all they are committed partisans. They're people who be with the party during struggling times. So the Unity Party people, we know them. We know their capacity. We know what they stand for. I'll give you one example. It may not be the right example, right? But Samuel Tuwe worked in the early Joti-led government. He worked at the Minister of Finance under Amara Kone as a consultant. At the same time, he was a stalwart of the ruling CDC now, the ruling party. So he was a partisan of the CDC and an official of the CDC, a strategist of the CDC. The CDC people did not say leave the job because that was the source of income he needed to depend on something to get money to feed himself and his family. That's why I keep saying, I told you from the beginning that Liberia is not like other countries where there are so many opportunities and that you can have windows of decision making as to what you want to do. I'm not saying this to say that I support Honorable Sarah Donna for the decision that he did a consultancy for the port, which we will verify later on. Maybe he will explain to us in detail. But I think constitutionally, he has his legal right to do a professional job with any institution. There were a lot of physicians who work with the Unity Party-led government. Even the Minister of State today, Mangel. Mangel worked as assistant minister in the Ellen Johnson-led government, as assistant minister at the Ministry of Labor. But he was a stalwart of the CDC. So interest, I think it should be left with the delegates. I think if the delegates are convinced that this gentleman can be a very good chairperson, that will take the party to another level, that will ensure that resources are raised for the party, that will ensure that we bring the party.
When we have
then
concerns,
it's left with the Unity Party.
when we have concerns,
I have the confidence in
when we
those,
have concerns,
candidates.
it is our responsibility to ask the question. And like you rightly said, you know, they will be left with the Unity Party to make their decision. So that's not a problem. Thanks for calling. We'll go back to the line again. We have 3164. Tell us your name.
Hello.
What is your name?
Oh, my name is Josiah Jokai. I'm calling you from Connecticut.
Welcome to the show. Make your point.
Oh, thank you very much, Ashford. I just want to say firstly that Donna he actually came from civil society, and we worked together on so many projects to include the Constitution, is dissemination and teaching of the principles as provided for by Article 10 of the 1986 Constitution. We work on arms for development projects, after the war in the country. And then before he went into politics and went into the legislature, I also follow him. He was actually playing a key role in the reform process in terms of law reform, championing some of the acts that created many of our anti-graft institutions. He was involved. And I think where many Liberians and other pundits feel that he slipped was during the 2017 elections when they had some issues with him. They've held that very firmly at memory. And so seeing Donna coming out at this time to run for the chairmanship, so references are being made to his relationships with some of the figures who are police of his in the current governing party, like Bill Twawe. But if you just look beyond his consultancy with Bill Twawe, I think his role as a lawyer and using his lawyering as a means of having a career and also earning income is beyond the consultancy he quote unquote provided for Bill Twawe or the government. So to run for the chairmanship of the Unity Party, I would think that there should be fundamental questions that people should ask. Has he made a full disclosure as to whether or not he worked for Bill Twawe as an individual or the institution? Was that through a firm, his firm that he established, or was just on the relationship basis or colleague basis with Bill? And he needs to make a full disclosure on when he actually ended fresh consultancy. And then he also needs to be clear as to how he is coming back in the reconciliatory process, because I know he was part of one faction of the Unity Party against another faction in the party. So those are the fundamental questions that should set him apart. Other than that, firstly, we should know that it's his right to be able to establish a firm or a business of his own to do business and earn income, especially in a nation of ours, in an economy of that nature. But this should not by any means compromise his standing with the political party, especially so when he's aiming for the highest party. I agree with for the highest seat in his political party. I agree with everyone I agree with everyone who says that he should make full disclosures, even before he can contest, and that is critical. I'm very sure the partisans of the Unity Party are taking that into consideration. The delegates, they will want to have these full disclosures even before he is declared candidate to run, because it will be a conflict of interest if he is still providing these kinds of consultancies and then take the chairmanship of the Unity Party. I'm sure he's fully aware. So if we have the conversation in that context, then it will give it some meaning. I just thought to call to share my perspective, as far as the conversation is concerned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. And again, we would love to see the contract, whether it was whether he went through the competitive bidding process, but according to his own admission, he said he and Bill worked together, and his friend called him, wanted to make use of his expertise. So he doesn't see anything wrong with it. So again, we're so sorry that he had to leave because of the network issue. It's raining heavily in Liberia. We're just about out of time. Today's program has been brought to you by Mr. Alvin Penner. I want to say a big thank you for your sponsorship. Tomorrow night we'll have Mr. George Lobo. George Lobo, I'm told, is one of the executives of the Unity Party based here in the United States, and he runs the drive show. Yeah, from Arizona. He's a tough talking guy. So we are going to have some very interesting conversation tomorrow night. Okay. So with that said, we want to go back to information how we pick up a few comments and we can cut this at night. Mrs. Roberts.
Yes. Hi, Mr. Garley. So we have trending Kula Johnson. Caller, this man case is different from that of the notorious guy of many ages. Mwambo DK, I'm surprised that Councillor Arthur Johnson should defend or appeal for Wambo DK of many ages. That has proven beyond all reasonable doubts that he is not, nor has ever been, a Liberian. Every fake documents that he presented came from the World Trade Center. His evil and fraudulent deeds eventually caught up with him. Thus, those guys from the World Trade Center ate his money for free. He will be frustrated and demeaned in a daily basis. And then we have from Carl Pinnell, an American senior orchestrator, once told me that we have created conventional sanctions against modernization. Steve Sensen, this guy was representative for 2 terms. I guess he has money to sustain himself. Last but not least, George Lobo, Ashford H. Garley, it is your night to ask questions. We will make the decisions for our party.
Thank you.
Smith Dawiya, 1 second. These are the kind of people destroying Liberia. You either be a politician or a businessman, but can be both. Back to you, Mr. Garley.
Okay. So again, is that your parting comments? We're out of time.
Oh no, that was
okay.
You said read comments.
Okay, you
but
got
in closing,
you got 1
1
minute. You got 1 minute. Go ahead, please.
Good night to all of you. Thank you for your participation. Unfortunately, our guests had to leave, but the conversation continues. This is what we have to do, to hear all the stories. Thank you very much. Have a great evening. It was a pleasure.
Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. Roberts. Again, want to say a big thank you to Mr. Donald for taking the time of his schedule. This is 2-3 o'clock in the morning in Liberia, and I'm telling you, he's still up for the most part. And then because of the network issue and the bad weather in Liberia, we couldn't conclude the program with him. Again, I want to say a big thanks to our sponsor for the night, Mr. Alvin Penner. Thank you so much for what you've done and continue to do for British Radio Africa. May God continue to bless you, and to our men, supporters, fans, members. I want to say a big thank you as always, and I want to say a big thanks to my strategists as well in helping us produce this program tonight. In the meantime, folks, please allow me to borrow the words of the Wise Man, but I want to give you a few bars of this song first.
Hervé Obella, la CFA, mon général.
And folks, I'm afraid that's all the time I have to be with you. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Same place, same time. Oh man. Again, a big thanks to our sponsor, Mr. Alvin Pernin. Thank you so much. Please look forward to seeing two other candidates that want to be chairman of the Unity Party, Mr. George Wishner and Mr. Amin Modad. We'll be bringing them to you soon. But tomorrow night we'll have Mr. George Lobo as our guest. Please allow me to borrow the wordings of the wise man. Tough times don't last. Tough people do. The height of a man is never known until he rises. And there's no second chance to make that first impression. Don't see okra and swallow bone, because you can't hide your nakedness from beef and bucket. When God bless you, don't see that medicine. When white men know you friend black man. This has been yours truly. But now you know me. Ashford. One carpet. The medicine of the microphone. Garley. Have a good night.